works, you've got the black bit, you've got the colour around it, you've got the little circle that goes around that. I've heard that if that's really intact, you've got really good genes and people want you. But I want you to look into each other's eyes, turn the person next to you, and I want you to look into the black bit. Come on, get close. Find someone, and I want you to say, you look amazing. Now I just want you to do a little thing, a little shift. I'll give you a little hack. James will like this one. Now I want you to look here. And I want you to say the same thing. Out loud. You're amazing. So there's a little hack for you guys. If you're listening to a client, or you're just having a difficult time with perhaps even a partner, just shift your gaze up into this part here, and you'll be talking to a different level. And it's a good way to sort of break through ego and move into a bit of a different space with people. So here we go. See how this goes. So we're talking about decoding and amplifying your unique message. And we've all got a unique message here, and we're going to work through a process to find a really quick way to get to that. So we're talking about the art of standing out, even though your competitors seem to be way in front. Who's got competitors way out in front at the moment? You never get rid of that, guys. There's always a competitor way out in front. And so the process that I'm going to take you through today is for you to be completely disengaged from what's happening with the heroes, the gurus, the people who are making the most noise in the space. Because we need you to stay in your own lane. The reason why we need you to stay in your own lane, because if there's so much noise out there, if you're listening to the noise out there, you're not going to be able to download your own unique voice. So it's almost like a computer, and we need to download, we need to almost like channel, if you like, the message that's coming through us to the world. We've got our own unique message. This way. If you don't do it, you'll end up being a copycat, or worse than that, you'll end up trying to be what your clients want you to be. We want to switch that. We want to flip that idea. We want to attract the ideal clients. We don't want to be what we think our clients want us to be. Now, the old style of marketing, the supply and demand mindset, is you look at what's out there in the market and you be that for the market. We don't want to do that. Otherwise, you end up like those people in corporate who are all kind of all dried out, and that's why they want to be entrepreneurs like you guys. So we want to keep that sort of attraction of client, but not trying to be what our clients want us to be. So, as Damien just said, if you know yourself, you like your streets ahead. So you actually have to know yourself to forget yourself. So there's the universal law to be the seer or the seeing. This is like a really fine line between being the seer and the seen. We need to be seen. We need to be, like Daryl's Facebooking us all over the world at the moment. We need to be seen. But how can we be seen and also be the seer? Because there's no energy in being the seen. You see them, they fall off the pedestal, they've got the haters, they're this, that and the other. We want to be the seer, because if we're not the seer, we're not actually going to be able to make a difference. So it's a fine line, especially in the online space. So true power comes from getting results for others. So you know when you're out of alignment, you know when you're out of, I call it being out of alignment, that's why I'm an alignment coach, this is what I work on. So you know when you're out of alignment if people aren't saying yes, or you've got a really big tribe but no one's buying. I see a lot of these people online, I know some of them, and actually if you look in their bank accounts, they're actually not making that much money. They've got a massive tribe, but they're not making much money. So we know when we're out of alignment when we've got no connection and no sale. That's how we can tell. So what we want to do is we want to activate and attract perfect clients, but we don't do that by making a lot of noise. We do that by supercharging the results that we bring. This is the juicy bit. This is when you feel if you're like in alignment or integrity or authentic, whatever you want to call it, this is what it is when you're actually making a difference in each other's lives. And I know that everyone that's been attracted to this event, deep down, that's what they want. Otherwise they'd be at another shiny object event. So, how does this work?
This way.
There we go, that's me.
I'll click for you, just tell me.
Okay. So I'm an alignment expert. I call myself an alignment expert because that's what they tell you to do. But I'm an alignment coach, and I work with entrepreneurs. So can you change the slide? We're going to go through these slides pretty quick. Who are struggling to escape the worry of money. These are the people that wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Who wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning and worries about money. And being overwhelmed by the competition. So if you're kind of emerging entrepreneurs, you'll probably be overwhelmed thinking it's going to take a long time to get somewhere. Or the guys that, some of the guys that I'm working on, they're big leaders, they're still worried about the competition. So as I said, it doesn't go away. So I help, next slide please. I help these guys get total clarity and create the power to stand out by supercharging their craft and their income. So I love the money thing. It's what was good seeing Laurel here yesterday, because the money thing's really good. If you can get the money thing right, it's a really good way of seeing your own value. So what I find with a lot of heart-based entrepreneurs will do a lot of contras, or they'll do a lot of giving. If you can put a little bit more of a financial value on that, it's really going to then up-level your results. It's weird, it's just the way it works. We want to keep our eye on the money thing. Okay, next slide please. So what's unique about you? What is unique about you? And how do you showcase that originality? So the problem is that you're actually too unique. You're so unique that it's actually a problem. James would totally be on this stuff with the brain. We are so unique that it's too complex for it. We can barely understand our partners, let's put it that way. How are people going to understand us in the marketplace? We are so unique. So what happens is we're as unique as our fingerprints. So you can imagine everybody's got their fingerprints, and everyone's got their fingerprints over social media, over everything, and it just becomes one big blur, and it's just one big noise. And this is what we're feeling. We're feeling this noise, desperate to stand out. So what this creates is just a massive amount of data, and it's like brain data, it's like neural pathways. Every time you're thinking about how you're coming across, you're sending out a whole lot of signals, creating a whole lot of data, and it's just more noise. It's just like a whole lot of stuff in the air that people can't process. So you are just more noise in a hustling market. So this is what we're up against, especially as everyone's going online and trying to do what we're trying to do. Okay, so I'm a bit of an energetic business coach. I'm a kinesiologist. I've been a kinesiologist for 10 years, coach for 2. So I've done thousands and thousands of hours of working on this process of energy is everything. So whenever you're thinking anything or you're sending out signals, so there's signals flying everywhere, we read each other's signals, there's all this sort of inner work that's going on. It's scientific, you can look it up. But all this thinking sends out signals. So what happens is we get weakened by these fears because there's all this sort of brain pathway stuff happening. And basically what it does is it disconnects you from your rock star ability. So you lose your power. So what we're talking about is how do you simplify your complexity so you can channel your unique voice? Because if you don't, you actually lose touch with your superpowers. So it's like an energetic disconnect or a nervous system disconnect is what we're talking about. So I'm going to give you a code, a conscious success code. I call it a success DNA code. And it's your unique message, and it's sort of like your secret sauce. So in this archetype work that we're going to do, that is actually the heart of your message. If you can kind of connect with that, that ends up being the heart or the way to move forward. So it's a focus formula for your business genius. Now, there's a lot of archetype work out there and it's all great, but what I love about this one is it's completely focused to your branding. Because what I find is there's a lot of navel gazing. You can get into, oh, I'm this and I'm that, and it's lovely, and you know, we love that. We want you to feel really good about yourself, but at the end of the day, it's about how you're going to get results for other people. I think Gordon spoke about it yesterday. He goes into finding out, what about the client's clients? This is a sort of alignment path I want to get you on with this. You're going to feel really good about yourself. As I said yesterday, we had a few people cry, or it's almost like they come home to themselves. But at the end of the day, it's about your unique message, how you're going to make a difference in the world. So it's a way to kind of lock in on a code. Okay, so next slide. Is there another one? Oh yeah. Okay. So who's done their assessment? Everyone done it? Oh great. Okay, so you're going to lean into your top 2 archetypes. Only 2. Now, what I find with entrepreneurs is they've usually got really high marks and because they usually had to be quite clever at a lot of things to get this far. Otherwise, they'd just be sitting on one skill and a job somewhere. So be okay with having really high numbers, and if there's one mark can make all the difference. So we're going to lean into just 2 archetypes. And the reason for that is people can't read all the data or all that talent. They don't know how to take it. You might go down at lunchtime and start speaking like an alchemist, and they go, "Wow, he's transformational." And you're at dinner, and then you're being the ruler and go, "Oh no, hang on, he seems like a really business type of guy." And they'll change hats for different people, and so people don't kind of know if they're going to buy from them. Like they were saying yesterday, 2 choices, too many. So it's almost like the same with shopping. Our offers. We don't give too many offers, otherwise clients don't know what to buy. It's too confusing. Same with our archetypes. Just going to give them 2. And don't worry, you're not going to lose any of that juicy background stuff. It's all going to be there. They're going to get into your funnel. They're going to find that you've got this quality, that quality, but we're not going to lean into that or lead with that. So we're back to it's working again. Can you change it for me? Okay, so this is what I call the unique success DNA. So this is your, basically it's your soul pattern and purpose, if we want to get spiritual about it. This is quite deep spiritual work, really. I presented it in a way that everyone can relate to it, because we're really talking about the nervous system. For Carl Jung, we know we're doing Carl Jung's work, and it's been adapted for branding. It's incredible how there's some really clever people that put this stuff together. So here they are. No, can you click those 3 for me? Yeah. Here they all are. 12 of them. We have money archetypes as well. There's 8 money archetypes. We won't be going into that today, but it's another layer of you. It's your drive. But this is how you present. This is a presenting workshop, so we'll work with those. So So we're going to move into the romantic. Who's a romantic? Hey, you, Daryl. I love that. You're in a good role with what you're doing then if you're a romantic. Who else is a romantic? Yeah, so Manny is a romantic. Look at the stage. Look how he's brought everyone together. It's all about the intimacy of this event. If he was a ruler, we'd have a completely different event. So, and it's interesting, he's attracted a lot of romantics here. So, the romantic, their unique success to DNA is to deepen intimate connections. By the way, this is like your spiritual contract. Or if you're not doing this, you won't get the same flow, you won't get the same support, you'll get more haters. Everyone's talking about these haters online. Watch out, you get haters. What I've found with my clients is they completely line up with what they were designed to be. It's almost like they're protected. They just slip through, possibly because they're not using a lot of ego to present themselves, because it's a natural core essence. And so it's a really nice way to be doing business as well. So they're all about intimacy and connection. They're about feeling singled out as being special. So it's really important for them to be singled out as special. So they'll create situations or they'll do work that makes them feel really special. They're attentive, they're often elegant, and they promise a feeling of being loved. And I know we all felt that coming to this event, didn't we? We all felt like we're going to be loved. Who felt like they were going to be loved? I came all this way because I knew I was going to be loved coming here. So they create deep connections that feel luxurious and long-lasting. So you'll find a romantic, or a lot of the romantics that I have as clients, they've built up their business over like 20 years. And they're still getting the business from the same people. They have long business sort of relationships. And they appeal to our core need to feel loved and appreciated. So thank God for romantics. So the romantics' gifts is being open-hearted, enjoying pleasures, creating deep connection, following your passion, creating partnerships. So the thing about a romantic, if you're a romantic, you do really well with JVs and partnerships. Look for them a little bit. They're really good at that. They do it naturally. Appreciating beauty, focusing on the senses, and cultivating specialness. So if you're a romantic, just take a snap of that. Take a screenshot of that. Anyone want me to tell them what their biggest strength is? Who's a romantic? And who's a romantic here? Who wants to know? Okay, so if I just test you, can we go back one slide to the gifts? Which one feels like your biggest strength?
Creating deep connection.
Yeah, you know what I'm getting for you? Or maybe you just need to lean to the moment. At the moment is appreciating beauty. What does that mean to you, appreciating beauty?
Well, exactly that. Appreciating beauty, noticing the intricacies that create the bigger picture, the details of the moment, the event, the relationship.
Yeah, and what's your job? What's your business?
My business is performance and mindset.
Wow. So that's important for you, just to think the appreciating the beauty thing is going to bring all that forward. So what we're doing, we're finding little codes for our neural pathways to jump on and work, focus on, bring that creativity that James spoke about to that. What does that mean? What does that mean? Look for the code. So that's a way he can move, get a bit of momentum. So have a think about that and see if that's relevant. Can I get the next slide? So you're a magnet to clients who crave a deeper sensory experience and a heartfelt connection. They want to feel at the centre of your world, and they're willing to pay a premium for this type of specialness. So I just want to point out, if you're a romantic, you shouldn't have a low price point. You should just not do it. You guys get permission to go straight to premium. So even if you're starting out, I'd have a few guts around it. And just price yourself a little bit higher, just a little bit out of your comfort zone, and just own it. Because you're going to make people feel luxurious, and there's going to be all these special surprises. It's just the way you roll. So just have that, or at least have a premium offer in your back pocket that you can offer first, and then go with whatever you're comfortable with. What's the next one? Is there another one there? Yeah, your clients want a high touch feel and surprises that delight their senses. That's what I'm saying. You're going to be bringing out little surprises here and there, and it's going to be stunning for people. Okay, what have we got next there? Innocent. Who's an innocent? No innocence. Okay, let's flick through the innocence anyway. So the innocence unique success DNA is to make us new again. They have a childlike appeal that sort of touches our heart. I wish we had one here because they're quite extraordinary. Next. They have an unwavering faith and optimism, and they have that wholesomeness and the honest values. They seem very pure and childlike. They create long-lasting loyalty. They help us smile and hopeful about the world again. So these are the gifts of the innocent. Embracing simplicity, creating paradise, unwavering optimism, relying on faith, seeing the good, providing relief, highly trusting. So the thing I'd like to point out about the innocent, because you need to recognise all these types anyway with what you're doing. It's just really good to know if you've got an innocent. I would say to not have a really sophisticated sales funnel if you're an innocent, because it's just going to come across too showy. And you know, I've got clients. There's one guy I've got. They're in quite a difficult market. He's a director of a company, and just because he's like the innocent, he's at the barbecue. You know, he's just got this red hair. He's got the smile on his face. He's like a comfort for everyone, you know, amongst the directors when they're going up and down in that market. He's just got that sense that, hey, it's just gonna all be fine. So, you know, even really high level business people can really embrace this archetype that they are. You don't have to look really high powered to be really successful. You can just be who you are. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay, so they are a magnet to clients who desire to escape something simpler, better and gentler. Really good time for that with so much happening in the world. The innocents are doing really well because they just hold the space that it's all going to be okay, like the Garden of Eden sort of energy. They love feeling a childlike wonder. They crave feeling fresh, renewed and made new again. Okay, who have we got next? The jester. Jester, let's go for the jester. So they offer a different perspective. So everyone thinks the jester's the clown. Yeah, they're a little bit funny, but the main thing that the jester does is to sort of whip around and offer a different perspective. Who have we got any jesters in here?
Self-proclaimed jester.
No, we don't know what you are yet, do you?
I'm working it out.
Oh, great, okay. So they're never satisfied with the status quo. Their cleverness helps us to see the world differently. They're very clever, the jester. They love the unexpected, and they remind us not to take life too seriously. They're at odds with the powers that be, and they bring a whole possibility for new ideas and innovations. They give us permission to have fun, and they're making fun of everything and everyone. They're spontaneous. They're great in business. So the gifts are, there they go, highly creative, fast thinking, being clever, lots of energy, breaking stereotypes, sparking laughter, changing the mood. So the next. So they're a magnet to clients who desire to have fun, want novelty and change, playful. And the last piece is really interesting because even though they seem really lightweight, they can actually get into very powerful rooms, a bit like the jester. You know, the jester was actually the one that could, you know, have a laugh at the king or get the king to kind of change perspective and maybe make a massive decision. So you'll find jesters kind of flick into places where they shouldn't probably be, and they end up with quite a bit of influence. So they make quite good influences. So the alchemist, who's an alchemist? We've got to have some alchemists here.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I got the exact same score for 3 different ones.
Good. We're gonna help you with that because you're only allowed 2. So if you have got, you know, a few high marks or you've got some ties, you're gonna pick one out of, you know, top 2. So you're gonna pick out of your ties. So feel into it as we go. Oh, that feels good. You know, and we're gonna, if you need help, we can do some Jedi and find out. So we've got to make dreams come true. That's your unique DNA. You just do it. I've got a bit of, I have to say, I've got a bit of archetype envy. I wish I was an alchemist. They just, when they're in flow, they just walk in the room and people just start to transform. Haven't seen anything yet? Maybe. So they've just got this vibe about them, very transformative energy. They're charismatic, shamans, healers, innovators, very transformational. Great, they make great coaches, great teachers. They inspire people to commit to a higher vision than what they thought they could be. They promise transformation, synchronicity, unconventional, and you know, the link between magic and practical outcomes. They can get away with a bit of woo-woo, these guys. So, you know, don't be afraid to be a little bit woo-woo because you'll just attract the people that love you. So even the guys that I've got in, you know, sort of bricks and mortar type things, we even get them to be a little bit woo-woo and they get away with it. So So experience a sense of magic, transforming our situation into what we dream it can be. So the gifts, highly innovative, creating change, producing ideas, highly intuitive, inventing new solutions, transforming situations, accessing unseen powers, and inspiring possibility. So take a snap if you're an alchemist. So they, let's go to the next slide. They're a magnet to clients who desire something in their lives to be magically transformed, crave change, love anything that's new, amazing, mystical, or ancient in origin. And they want to help you realise their dream and give them a clear vision. So, you know, if we had someone who was in an industry where you probably wouldn't go to woo-woo, but they spoke about the history of that industry a lot. And that was a way to kind of connect into that ancient of origin energy that the alchemist does. Okay, humanitarian. Who's a humanitarian? We've got to have some of those in here, no doubt. Anybody? Were you one? No, you weren't. You're a sage, weren't you? Okay, so let's talk about them. They speak up for the common man. These guys have a big tribe. If you are a humanitarian, you've got to definitely get that Facebook group up to 100,000 or something. You've got to go hard on getting the numbers because you've got to serve a lot of people. You've got a big game to play as far as service goes. They're the unsung hero working behind the scenes for what's right. They want to make sure everyone's heard, valued and recognised. They're beautiful actually. And they're on just like you style, they're the driving force behind great social change. So they're very, very humble people. They don't put on airs. They're great people. So leading from the trenches, inspiring others with their simple, forthright characters. So very inspirational as well. And they help us know that we all count, and we each have a voice no matter what our status in life. Okay, so the gifts, creating community, embracing diversity, easily approachable, fighting for equality, being unpretentious, supporting the underdog, representing simplicity. So I really love the archetype. And they're a magnet to clients who desire the sense of belonging just as they are. They crave friendship, connection and value, everyday qualities over elite status, and they want to share common values of goodness and community. So we've got no humanitarians. I thought the place would be full of humanitarians. Okay, sage. Who have we got that's a sage? Quite a few sages. Is anyone, I'm going to get you to guess my, whoever can guess my two archetypes. If you already know them, you're not in this competition. I'm going to gift you a full geared half-day immersion. We're going to go through a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of content. So that's worth a couple of grand. So we'll wait to the end. Okay, if you already know them, you're not in the competition. So whoever gets that gets a half-day immersion with me. We'll do all your content and work out what you're doing. Okay, so sage. So the sage is a unique success is to discover the truth and share wisdom. Very smart, the sage. They're driven to search for information and wisdom and share these with the rest of the world. They're a natural skeptic and they seek to find proof to validate their discovery. So they just won't come up with a flippant thing. They'll give you the full background on it. A few facts, a few graphs. They integrate information and insight to uplift our spirit and advance our lives. So they've got this kind of, when they're on these spiritual contracts, remember these are actually like spiritual contracts. You were designed this way. You've actually got a bit of a calling to be this way. So we love having the sages because what they do is they just get the juice out of something, so we're not getting all kind of confused with information, and they'll just come up with that, and they're driven to really sort of advance us with information. They're beautiful, really lovely archetype. They uncover true wisdom from the facts, and they value experience, advice, and a legacy. So great archetype. Next. You said that one? Yeah, so the gifts. Original thinking, they're great original thinkers. Give them all the information and they'll get the original thinking behind the whole thing, so we all get lifted. Seeking information, discovering the truth, enlightening others, being objective, encouraging independent thinking. They usually, a good sage and flow won't shove information down your throat. They'll actually encourage you to think about things. When you see them when they're really in their flow and they're really clever sages, they won't do that. They'll get you to think and come to your own solution. Share wisdom and solving a mystery. Okay, so you're a magnet to clients who desire information they can trust and believe, crave receiving information and making up their own mind. They value empathy and they want to know that you've been in their shoes. And they're hungry to increase their knowledge and abilities. So, interestingly, Vanessa yesterday, she's a sage artist. She's got a lot of the alchemist in there as well, as you can see. But she gave us quite a bit of information, but you noticed that she didn't kind of throw it down our throats. She said there's this, there's that, and kind of put it all out there with quite a bit of fact behind it. So she's a good example of that. So artist, here we go, artist, who have we got? Must have lots of artists in here. Because Manny's an artist, romantic, so he's going to attract a lot of artists. Okay, so their unique success DNA is to confidently honour self-expression. It's all about self-expression. Their imagination and willingness to conform is a catalyst for innovation and endless possibilities. So there's endless, they're juicy archetype, there's always ideas, there's endless possibilities, on and on and on, what they can do. They see untapped potential and they transform our human experience. They love beauty, design, creativity from art. So, you can be an artist and never have drawn a picture in your life and still have that archetype because you'll just do things differently. Just everyday tasks, there'll be a little creative little tweak to it. So I find a lot of artists might kick back saying, oh, but I've never drawn a picture or I'm not very creative, but they are. They're just the way they do, like even the dishes, the washing up, they'll do a little bit differently. So they lift us up and they give us permission to create how we see our world. So these are the gifts, highly sensitive, they're very sensitive, creative problem solving, seeing opportunities, valuing self-expression, ability to reimagine something new, turning ordinary into extraordinary, and love of complexity and bursts of inspiration. So just take a snap of that if you're an artist. Anyone want me to tell you what I think we're testing up? Daryl? What do you think's your biggest strength?
Well, it's a blessing and a curse to be a highly creative person when you have so many ideas and so many things you want to do, but then you're not so organized about doing them, getting them all there. So, some talents, they balance each other out. Like, it's a blessing and a curse. You have to
Which was your first, the romantic or the artist?
Romantic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one, just put it back and I'll just give one for Daryl to kind of really focus on because it's like a code. Remember, it's a neural pathway. It's a little spiritual code. If you just go, bang, if I just focus on that, it's going to open up a whole lot more creativity. Can you just take it back again? So Daryl, just this one that's coming up for you at the moment is ability to reimagine something new. Do you want to feel into that and have a think about what that could mean at the moment? That's your momentum code at the moment. There'll be something behind that. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Thank you. How have we got? Want to put their unique stamp on something? So you attract people who want to put their unique stamp on something. So they're gonna find you. They're just going to be drawn to you for that. They desire to feel self-expressed and valued as an individual. They want to be involved in the process of creating and customizing something just for them. So we're into the maverick. Who's a maverick? No mavericks. I thought there'd be lots of mavericks. Mavericks are a bit shiny object though. They might be thinking, oh, I'm gonna, might not be shiny enough. They like a lot of flashy stuff. So let's have a look. Their unique success DNA is to challenge the world as we know it. They're driven to shake things up. They're rebel, daredevil, revolutionary. You see loads of them online. They're all over the online space. They transform by disruption, breaking the rules, challenging authority. They give us permission to break loose, challenge the limits and perceptions. So the gifts, flick through those gifts quickly. Challenging authority, instigating change, breaking the rules, not caring about what others think. So some of you may be mavericks in your money archetypes. So there's a maverick in the money. So you don't necessarily need to appear as that, but your drive will be a maverick drive. Let's have a look. Check. Desire to stand out from the crowd, want to stop conforming, want to feel free, different from others, looking for a catalyst. Okay, next. We've got the hero. We've got any hero? Got to have heroes in here. You're a hero? You're definitely?
Your influencing archetype.
So it's your second archetype, is it?
It's actually third.
Is it?
It's a type for first.
Okay. So therefore it's out. What are your first two?
The first two are explore and stage.
Really? Interesting. You might be transitioning out of hero a little bit. So how you get somewhere how you get to the next stage. Like if we just sort of showcase Rao on that, he's had this hero's journey, but the next journey for him is explorer, sage. So we know sage is going to bring a lot of information. He's going to get his, IP really in order so that he can really showcase it, and he's going to help people explore their own journey. We're getting up to explorer. So let's go with the hero. So the unique success DNA is to achieve grace by triumphing over adversity. They have bravery and courage, championing those who cannot stand up for themselves. They usually have a big tribe too, the heroes. They can do a big tribe really well. Next, they have an interior quest for proving worth, facing fear and overcoming great obstacles. They have grit and determination, and they have the courage to achieve more than we thought possible. So they kind of egg us on a little bit. We keep going. There's a hero. Like you can hear a lot of hero stories here in this space. What were you?
Sage and explorer.
Was it the same? Were you a hero as any in there somewhere?
I don't remember where.
Yeah. There's a lot of hero stories here today, stories of heroism. But because of their grit, they make us think, yeah, I could do that. So we get inspired by, everyone's unique design, as you can see. So it helps us tap into our sense of honours, values and conviction. And the gifts, courage, courageous action, setting boundaries. They're good at setting boundaries. Overcoming adversity, defending integrity, protecting the vulnerable, braving fear, and inspiring mental or physical toughness. Again, they're highly sensitive as well. Quite a highly sensitive archetype. You're a magnet to clients that want to be championed to better their best. They want to be saved from struggle or difficulty. And they want to feel the thrill of victory and achievement. And they want to achieve more than they ever felt possible. So Jared, is that your first or second archetype? First. So, this is interesting. So if you really lean into that hero, be the hero for people in that marketing space, like, yeah, you can do it. Like, you probably do quite well with, emerging entrepreneurs, do you?
Yeah, well, I was telling somebody earlier, I've kind of been forced into coaching. Somebody said, I'm looking for a marketing coach. It was referred to you. I said, I'm not a marketing coach. I should be for you. And he was like, you are.
Yeah, because of this.
And
Yeah.
You're my marketing coach.
Yeah, because you champion them, you egg them on and help, because it's a tough gig, the marketing thing. It's a tough gig. Okay, next, the ruler. We've got any rulers? Gordon? Okay, so the ruler, your unique success DNA is to create structure so that other people can prosper. So I think that's really interesting. They're commanding and they have authority and they have little patience for ambiguity. They appeal to our desire to feel important and control and in charge. So they help us become king, queen or goddess of our domain. And their true gift is empowering leadership, prosperity and success in others. So the ruler's gifts: taking charge, inspiring confidence, being responsible, generosity, demonstrating integrity, creating order out of chaos, and creating ideal morals and standards, empowering others. It's a perfect archetype for you, isn't it, Gordon? I can see how you get into these very corporate spaces because they actually see you as being part of a structure. So you're not flippantly, flicking through there like the visible man. You've actually come in almost like a businessman in a way, haven't you? So that's a really good kind of energy to lead from. You're a magnet to clients who want to feel secure, get organised and feel that what they need has already been thought out by you. And it's interesting, you were saying that in the panel, the way you approach them, it's like you've already thought out what they need and you tell them, Google them up and say, this is what you need. So that's a really ruler approach. If you're another architect, it's great advice and everyone should still do it, but that's definitely a good approach for a ruler. Like, I'm in charge of your space, I've worked it out, I've thought everything through, let me come and speak. Let me do what I need to do. They want things to get under control and feel a sense of mastery, which is what you've been doing, and they want systems that work. So, when you're presenting your marketing as a ruler person, you'd really push that energy. But that's what you do. You'd really lead with that, and people would just nod straight away. They just go, yeah, this person knows what they're doing. There's no energy thing around it. They can feel your code, if you like, or your neural pathways. Everything's lined up for them to just nod at you. You're just giving them what you've got within you. Okay, so they want to feel valued and important too. So, if you're a ruler, you go really well in high-level business because they want to be around you because you look important and you help them feel important. Okay, explorer, we've got a few explorers. Your unique success DNA is to discover deep fulfillment, freedom, and authenticity. Your drive to seek your drive is to seek new experiences. They're always looking for a new experience. They have foot in both the physical and the spiritual world. So don't be afraid to talk about both worlds with whatever your work you're doing. You flip into the spiritual and you come back to the physical. It's really part of your design. They're restless, they're ambitious, they're alone out in front blazing the trail. And they've got an intense need for wide open vistas, embracing different cultures and ideas. And they have a deep-rooted need for individuality, and they're they're a little bit like the artist in a certain sort of a way. They give us a role model for being original. Like you two men are very original. So the gifts are high achieving, usually quite ambitious people, willing to take risks, staying true to core values, driven and ambitious, pushing the limits, discovering the deeper meaning, never giving up, and unwavering optimism. So what I actually find them quite, not hard to coach, but I've noticed as a coach, you often don't get an explorer for very long. A lot of my clients just keep working with me. And what they'll do is they'll come and they'll just want to kind of bounce off you if they're on the right track, because they need to do it themselves. So if you've got explorers on your team, or clients are explorers, you've got to let them have a bit of freedom. They come back, it's rather than telling them what to do, you'll hold that kind of genius space for them to sort of find their own genius. And then they'll be off again, and then they'll come back. But they don't want to be locked in, is that right? You want to kind of be freer. You don't want anyone to tell you what you're thinking. So you're a magnet to clients who want to feel free and true to themselves. So you'll attract people like that, so you'll just have a really good time. They crave creating the unique mark in the world, and they look to you for the tools and solutions. They'll come to you for that. And they're ambitious and goal achieving. They want to live by their own values. And that's it. The other thing I want to say, so you guys are yourself, you end up attracting people like yourself. You'll have quite a delicious life, because you're going to attract these really interesting people who are going ahead and find different frontiers and finding information and coming back. So you'll really enjoy your career if you really hold on to those archetypes and lean into them.
Jen, can we go back to the previous slide?
Yeah, can we? Who's a explorer in here? Oh, we've got lots of explorers. They're often a bit lonely. I've got a client, they can talk about being a bit lonely, especially when they get quite high level, because they can't have a lot of noise. No, the one that I've been working with, she'll be up at 4 in the morning. So she's got mindset space. You know, she's taken that company to 900 million a year. But she's got this incredible culture. She's there for everyone when she's there, but she creates this big space in the morning where she drops into reading and meditation, you know, for 3 hours before she goes and does this incredible culture that's created this incredible abundance. So she's an explorer. So nurturer. Let's go. So they're who's a nurturer? Are you?
I'm taking 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Do that as well. I'm going, oh my God, that's awesome. Okay, so I thought you could be. It's to care for, nourish, and protect our mind, body, and soul. Okay, so the nurturers. Who's a nurturer again? Anyone in here? Oh, yeah, awesome. Okay, next. So they have compassion and a caring, and they envelope us in a feeling that we're home. Like when they're around, we just feel good, like we're going to be looked after. Okay, they have a deep desire to take care of people and things in their world. And their influence is felt throughout society. Like they're just everywhere. They're kind of like the good people in the cracks. You see they're everywhere. And they appeal to our need for comfort and everything. Okay, so let's have a look at the gifts. Moved by compassion, helping others, be positive, highly intuitive, protecting others, extreme generosity, believing in second chances, sensitive to others' needs. What do you reckon is your highest, James, there? You just go back. You know what I'm getting for you? That it's a good momentum thing to lean into. You've got extreme generosity. Hey? That's what's coming up. Because you often can't pick your own. That's why I pick it for you. Because I would never have picked my one. I wouldn't have the guts to pick what my biggest strength was. I would have felt a bit arrogant or something. So yours is actually extreme generosity. So there could be a little marketing piece around being extremely generous. Maybe you give something quite generously, and then the thing you need to watch out as a nurturer is you need to price pretty well as a nurturer as well. You need to have a pretty good price point because you're going to give. You're going to give and give and give and give. But when you're aligned up, you're in your alignment, you're in your energetic alignment, you're in your spiritual code that you are a giver. As long as you've got really good pricing, you've got really good systems behind you, you've got really good self-care, you won't run out of steam. Because they can drop into being a bit of a martyr. So make sure you price really well so that, because you are going to over-deliver. It's just what you do. And it's hard, you can't get coached out of that too, by the way. It's really hard to get coached out. It's counterintuitive not to be really giving. So just make sure you price really well. What have we got for the nurturer? Deep, for desire, feeling cared for, protected and comforted. The clients want you for safety, they want to feel valued, appreciated, and accepted just as they are. And they want to feel your caring, compassion and generosity in every aspect of your business. So the difference between a humanitarian and a nurturer, possibly the humanitarians are just a little bit more idealistic, and the nurturer is just kind of holding your hand. It's like it's in there with you. It's a little bit more warm and fuzzy in a way. Okay, next, what have we got? So there are our 12 archetypes. Let's go to the next slide. So we need to lean just into 2. So let's do a quick process before we finish so everyone's pretty clear on what they're going to get. Next. So you need to break the toe. You need to ask this question. Which one will empower you the most to stretch and grow into your full brilliance? Which one will empower you the most? So let's just, next slide, and just bring them all up. Just bring them all up here. These are the sacred contracts, if you like, or the spiritual contracts of each one. Let me know. Let me know if anyone wants me to help work out what they're going to do. We'd obviously do a bit of a longer process.
I have a tie.
Yeah?
Explore and sage.
Between what?
Explore and sage.
Okay. So which one feels like it's pulling you forward? to discover deep fulfillment, freedom and authenticity, or to discover the truth and share wisdom? Which one's pulling you forward at the moment?
Wow, that's a good reason that it's a tie.
Yeah, it's a real tough one. Have you
Yeah,
got like it? So let me just look for a little clue for you. I'll just do a bit of Jedi. I've got the prosperity scan chart. I can just put that down. Which one would be more financially rewarding for you, do you think? Just what's your intuition on that?
Sage.
The sage. Go to sage. Testing sage. Yep. You know what's good about the sage? It's going to help you get really focused, and we had a bit of a talk about that before, about your IP and breaking it up for people so they can jump in on that, on the modules and on the systems. You can really simplify it. I think it's going to take the business to the next level for you. Okay, what have you got? Alchemist, to make dreams come true, to discover the truth and share wisdom, and explorer, to discover deep fulfillment, freedom and authenticity. So which one feels like it's pulling you?
It's still high, but probably
Sage. What's the other one? I'm getting explorer, but let me have a look for a clue. This is a random clue book with 20,000 entries to get an idea from. I've got magnetic therapy. What does that make you think of? What one feels more? What do you do, by the way? Pardon? You're a writer. Okay, so how do you magnetize your ideas? You write from the heart. Okay, which of these archetypes is going to put you in the heart? Go to the explorer, testing explorer. Yep. And just go for it. Just lean into it. You know, I've got the cards here throughout the day. I'll come and take a photo of the cards. On the back, we've got branding words with vibrational words you can use in some of your marketing. I'm happy to leave them out. You can take a photo. It's probably against copyright, actually, so maybe I shouldn't. But you can call me and I can send you the sample. That'd be better. Okay, anyone else need a hand? Do one more?
I've got the 8 weight side.
Oh yeah, you've got the 8. I'm just going to muscle test it. Tell me what they are.
Oh my gosh, they are alchemist, maverick, nurturer, innocent, hero, ruler, explorer, sage.
I got the explorer. Why is the explorer pulling you forward?
The first hit I get is just I'm a world traveler.
I've got a funny clue. I've got mediumship. What does that mean to you? Yeah. It's like channeling. When you're traveling, what are you channeling? What do you pick up? How do you feel connected?
Oh my gosh, just the massive energy for environmental stuff.
Yeah, that's the one to go for. That's your calling. Feel into it. You can always, check in later, and that's what I'm getting for you. So, can we flip to the next slide? Finish up. So again, there's a whole lot of neural pathways going nuts in this room even now, let alone out there on social media. James talked about it yesterday. When you're flicking through, imagine all the data you're picking up. It's just too noisy. We don't want that. We want to lean into a code. We want to stay with the heart. And if there is only one you, this is it, it's your finger. There's only one you. There's only one person doing this. There's only one person doing that. It feels like there's millions of people, but there's not. So when you lean into that, you own your superpower. And to know yourself, you need to forget yourself. You need to serve. This is the power, serving. You're here to make a difference, as we know. And what have we got? You need to amplify. So you basically amplify by amplifying your results. Like, I believe that marketing doesn't work actually to a certain extent. There's a myth-busting thing there. your work. So when you're energetically aligned to your work and you're supercharging your work, you create this energy that sends out signals. People find the signal. How many people have, gotten alignment and they haven't even put post yet and they get the call, I'm looking for someone. Who's had that happen? This is why we got to go beyond marketing. We've got to get in alignment with our energetic, purpose here and what we're doing. People ring up. Just put that slide back for a sec, and I'll just point that out. Just flip that back. So if anyone wants to go deeper on that with me, there's when the slide comes back on, it's jencudmore.com.au/shift. Book an hour with me, and I'm happy to help you get a bit of a breakthrough on and what you need to go to the next step with your beautiful, unique success DNA. Thanks for listening to all that information. It was a bit of an awkward twist and everything like that, but thanks for participating. Great to see you. Oh, yeah, yes, mine.
Nurture or humanitarian?
No. No. No.
Stage hero.
No. No. Gotta have two to win.
Artist digester.
Yeah! Man. I'm a jester artist, so I can get in the room and say to the guys, no, that's not it. Top leaders, sorry, no, that's not it. They go, oh, what is it? No, that's not it. Okay. All right, so there you go. Thanks, guys. I love doing that.